Hello and welcome to today's art lesson. We're going to start off today by going through everything that you will need for the lesson. So today you're going to need some paper, pens or pencil, doesn't matter which, some secret objects chosen by an adult. Get an adult to choose maybe 4 or 5 objects and get them to cover them with a tea towel, and it's really important that you don't see these objects. So you might want to pause the video just now and get all your materials ready. So as we always do in our art lessons, we're going to start off by talking about a piece of artwork. So we're going to talk about the subject, then we're going to talk about the media, what the artist used to create the piece of artwork. We're going to talk about the visual elements, and last of all you're going to talk about your personal response, what the piece of artwork makes you feel or makes you think. So this is the artwork that we're going to look at today, and the first question I'm going to ask you is, what can you see in the artwork? So you can have a really close look, pause the video and talk about what you think you can see within this piece of artwork. So next we're going to talk about what media did the artist use. So when we talk about media, we might mean paint, pencil, crayon, photography, clay, fabric, collage materials. What do you think that the artist used to create this piece of artwork? Pause the video and have a think about that. Next we're going to talk about which visual element is strongest. So when we look at the visual elements, we're thinking about line, colour, pattern or texture, and shape or form. And when we talk about these in class, we might say that we own our own gallery and we've got 4 rooms. One room is focused on line, one is focused on colour, one is focused on pattern or texture, and one is focused on shape or form. And if you look at this piece of artwork, think which room in your gallery would you put it in? There's no right or wrong answer, it's just to get you looking really closely at the artwork. So think about that and pause the video. Okay, now we're going to give you some time to think about what the artwork makes you think about or feel. Okay, so take a few minutes to talk about that, and then you can pause the video as well to do that. So this picture is called Woman Bird by Moonlight by Juan Miro. We can see a big blue crescent moon and a white star in the painting. So we know that it's nighttime. But where are the woman and the bird? Does anything look like a bird or a woman to you? Perhaps each pair of little circles is a set of eyes. Perhaps the large black shapes are the women's skirts or dresses. Maybe the bird is that strange white shape in the lower right hand corner with a red beak and 3 hair-like feathers on its round back. Nobody can say for certain. What's your guess? Juan Miro's art teacher once asked him to try drawing simple shapes like circles, rectangles, stars and triangles without looking. The result might have looked something like the shapes in the picture. So we're going now to try some drawing with our eyes closed. So for task 1 today, you're going to need some paper and some things to draw with. So if you want to pause the video and get yourself organised. Okay, now that you've got everything you need, I'm going to give you some suggestions and you're going to take some time to do some of the drawings, but I want you to keep your eyes closed while you're doing the drawing. Okay, so we'll start off with some simple things. So the first thing I'd like you to draw is a circle. So pause the video if you need to and draw a circle. How did you get on? Have a look at your drawing. Okay, second thing we're going to try is something that was in Juan Miro's painting. So next up, I'd like you to try and draw a crescent moon. So pause the video and draw the moon. Okay, next we'll keep going with a few simple things. Have a go next at drawing a triangle. And pause the video until you've done that. Okay, next we're going to try drawing some stars. So pause the video and draw some stars. Okay, you might need to turn your paper over at this point, depending on how big your drawings have been. I wonder if you've managed to keep everything on the paper, or if sometimes you've drawn over the side of it a little bit. So, next thing we're going to try and draw is a person. So Juan Miro had drawn a woman in his painting. So why don't you try now drawing, you can draw a man or a woman. Okay, so if you want, this one might take you a little bit longer. So remember not to look, try and keep your eyes closed, and pause the video now and take some time to draw. Okay, have a look at your drawing. How did you get on? Were the details in the places that you expected them to be? Okay, next thing I'd like you to try and draw is a bird. Okay, so pause the video and draw a bird. Okay, have a look at your bird. How did you get on? Did you manage to get the wings in the right place? Did you manage to draw on a wing, some legs? What would you do differently next time if you were drawing in this way? For our second task today, we're going to be drawing some hidden objects without looking at them. So the first thing you need to do is to get a wee selection of objects, and they need to be covered over by something like a tea towel. So make sure you've got your objects covered with a tea towel and something to draw with, and a piece of paper or a few pieces of paper. So you might want to pause the video till you've got all of that stuff organised. Okay, put your hand under the tea towel and feel the first object. Okay, it's really important that you don't look at it. So you're not trying to guess what the object is, although you do that to start with. And then what we're going to do is we're going to really feel that object in lots of detail and use your sense of touch to be able to then draw the object. Okay, so for example, if I was working on this spoon here, I would know it's a spoon when I touch it. But then I would really be using my finger to try and think about all of this detail that's on the handle. And you can put your hand back under and you can feel the object as many times as you like, but don't look at them until you're finished your drawing. Okay, once you have done that, move on to the next object and keep going until you've drawn all of your objects. When you've finished, you might want to, as an extension, you can choose to draw the objects by looking at them as well as touching them, and then you can see how different your drawings would be. Okay, so really looking forward to you sharing some of these drawings that you've done today. So perhaps you might want to share them through Teams, or you might want to share some of the pictures on Twitter, and it would be really great to see how you've got on today. So I hope you've enjoyed today's art task, and hope to see you again next week. Bye.